Hi, Adrian Manyathelo here. Today, I just want to talk about a very interesting topic here that we are actually discussing and we are studying in very in detail. Uh, the 5 principles of creating a clear strategy. First of all, let me say, when it comes to clarity, the first thing that holds everything actually is a vision, right? And I remember one day when I had to be clear on what I wanted, right? Uh, this particular time, I was actually struggling to study a certain subject called technical drawing. Now, I was in college then, right? So the problem with this subject was that actually technical drawing is a subject where uh, you learn how to draw things. Like, for example, before you could make a television, right? What they do is they draw it out first from their mind, what they think the television will look like, right? They draw it first on a piece of paper, and then they put as much details as possible on the piece of paper. So the guy who actually goes to make that television, they'll be looking at that picture and just follow it up and make something that looks like the television we see today. And the same thing applies to houses, something applies to almost any object you see that has been created by mankind, right? So that's what technical drawing is all about. But you see, at that particular time, it was very difficult for me to be able to try and think think out an object and draw it on a piece of paper, or draw something from my mind and make it put it down on a piece of paper. More like a vision, right? It's a vision, but it's in a pictorial form. So that kind of detail is the kind of thing that you're supposed to do, right? And so I was struggling. Basically, what was happening was that I could not work out how that thing is done. The teacher was trying his best to try and explain to me how the thing is done. I just couldn't understand it, right? To a point that I realized that I needed help. So I started to look for help from everywhere. You know, sometimes when you start looking for help, when you start just kicking around, looking for things, right? You tend to find them. Okay? So I was looking around, and I said one day I went to the library and I got this book. I don't even remember the name of the book to this day. But I was reading this book, and this book says that, you know, if you are struggling in something, right? If you can imagine yourself succeeding in that thing, just focus yourself that you're going to succeed in this thing, and see it so clear that, you know, you can nobody can deny it. So clear that you can actually describe it. Then you will achieve it. So then I said, wow, this is the answer to my thing. And fortunately, when I actually got this information, I was probably 3 months into the course, so I had lots of time to start practicing that thing. So I began to imagine myself in the exam, right, doing this subject. I could see myself doing so well. I could see myself writing in detail, remembering everything that the teachers ever taught me, and actually retrieving lots of information that is needed for that subject, even things like theoretical part of it. I would do that, like, I don't know how many times a day, so many times in a day, just imagining myself doing that thing, right? And I did that. But what was interesting was that when we do like internal exams and tests and things like that, I still wouldn't get any mark. But I still kept the faith because of that sentence, that little information that I got from that book, right? So now I was struggling up to the exam time, right? I never got anything more than maybe more than 30%. I was just struggling that bad. So, but when the exam came, right, I just went in. I had faith in the principle that I was holding in my hand, right? So, but I had no, well, I didn't know whether I would do it or not, but I just kept on believing that I would do it. So now exam time came, right? I tried my very, very level best, right, to do that thing. So I gave it 100, probably 1,000% effort. So now, when the exams came out, actually the exam was very, very difficult, first of all, for everyone, right? So for me, that means it looked extremely difficult. In fact, it actually looked normal because it was always difficult, right? So I went ahead and I wrote that thing, and And when the results came out, lo and behold, only 3 people passed, right? And I was one of them, right? That's how powerful a vision is. That's how powerful it is to be clear in what you want. That's why today we're talking about 5 principles which you can use to receive anything. Just being clear on anything, right? So now, this is what I did, right? My teacher, just before the exam, had told me that, no, there's no hope. There's no hope, right? You're just going to fail this thing. And I told him, you'll be surprised, right? So, and it tells me that, sometimes when people tell you that you will be nothing, tell them they'll be shocked. You'll be something. Don't ever agree on somebody pulling you down now. Never do it. Because they pull you down because you're something better, right? So anyway, after the exams, I go and see this teacher just to celebrate with him. You see, when he looked at me, he literally cried. The guy couldn't speak to me. The guy, I don't know what was, I think he was shocked, more than jealous. So that's how powerful this thing is. So today, anyway, I'll hand you over to my business partner, who's just going to basically go in detail in this topic and also give you some free gifts that we are giving out today. So go ahead, click on that link below this video and just follow the instructions. Thank you so much. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.